All right, welcome back to our $1 to $1 million challenge. Today, we are going to be playing Plinko until we hit the 1000x, and then we're going to get a big boost to the bankroll here. So this is going to be a big one. Actually, I'm just kidding. What we're doing today is our typical gameplay, but today I want to talk about how I go for consistent wins and how I've been on a winning streak, right? So if we look at our sheet here, I track every gameplay of every video. It's all live, it's all recorded. We can see here that I've been on a crazy win streak for about 33 days straight of winning, like straight wins for 33 days. Obviously, there were a couple losses in here, but for the most part, these red boxes are losses, by the way. But for the most part, this has been a ton of wins, and I'm going to kind of walk you guys through my gameplay style and how I try to pull this off. Now, this isn't a guaranteed method, but I wanted to walk you guys through my thoughts and how I go through things. So before we hop into the actual gameplay, I want to show my bonuses claimed outside of the website, just to prove that I'm claiming these legitimately. So there's only like 2 minutes of bonuses. Bonuses are winding down. We're not getting as many bonuses now. But let me play that real quick, and then we'll hop into some gameplay. Okay, so this first one is just a couple bonus spins. I think they're like 20 cents, so it's nothing huge. But luckily, we did run into a bonus, so that helped us out a lot. So basically, these outside casino apps I use offer promotions on their casino apps, basically just to get you to deposit money or to continue playing on their apps, right? So this is completely outside of the website I use, but these are basically just free offers of free bonuses that I can just claim. And obviously they want me to keep playing after the fact, but I just keep them in the account, and then we add that all up to the bankroll. So the biggest thing is, these offers are going to be there. They're offered to everyone that, can use these apps. They're offered to everyone. I'm going to claim them. It's free money. I'm not going to leave that money on the table. That's just stupid. So I claim these bonuses, add them to the total bankroll with the website and all the other casino apps, and then we base our profit goal of 1% on all of the bankrolls combined. So it just helps us boost the balance up. We were claiming $1 a day before, but we can't get that anymore. So we opted into taking this on, which gives us some extra bonuses. But yeah, so today, like I was saying, I'll dive into a little bit more later, but the whole goal is to really talk about, we got $9.42, so that's pretty nice on that. And then here's a $5 bonus I got, and I just did simple crash game, cash that out at 1%. And then here is a $100, if I bet $100, I get $5 in casino bonuses. So again, I do $82 here. I didn't realize I had the extra $2 down. And then I do just a $12 bet or $18 bet to clear that out, $100 out. And that gives us our $5. So I put the $5 in, all at 1.01x. Pretty safe bets. Pretty much it. Okay, so with all of that considered, that brings our total balance up to $400, which makes our 1% profit goal $4, nice and flat and even, and then our stop loss is $16. Okay, so hopping into the website, the game plan for today is for me to walk you guys through what I think during all these bets and how I operate. So the whole goal is just basically how do I get consistent wins, and this isn't guaranteed. This is just my strategy, right? So basically, we have our 1% profit goal, which for today, it's very easy. It's $4, right? And then our stop loss is 16. So in my head, I got $16 to work with, and I have to get $4, right? So, we have this balance up here. We have the balance from all the other apps. We're totaling $400, right? That's a bankroll. But in this playthrough, I could vault this money if that's easier for you to do. The way I think of it is I got $16 to work with. I got to make $4. So that's like a 25% gain on the $16, right? So basically we're just trying to get a 25% profit on what we have to work with. So that's what I'm thinking about, right? So typically what I like to do at first is to go a little bit more aggressive and try to get, and by aggressive, you know, I'm thinking I gotta get $4. That's in my head right now. $4. I got a little bit of stop loss to work with, $16, but I have to get $4. So to be a little bit aggressive, I like to do something like the wheel. On medium risk, I'm gonna go for a 50-cent bet, maybe take it up to $1 bet, but I'm really just trying to get like $1 or $2 really quick. And if I go down 50 cents or a couple bucks, it's not that big of a deal because we have a lot to work with. So to start this off, I'm gonna start with a 50-cent bet. So we got a 4x on that. That's what I'm talking about. We got lucky on that. We could have got a loss of 50 cents. Luckily, we got the 4x, which brings us to a profit of 150. So we're almost halfway to our profit goal just by that one game right there. Now, if we would have hit any other color, 4x is the best, but we could have hit a 3x, a 2x, a 1.7 or 1.5. Any of those would have been good, right? But I'm expecting I'm gonna have to play a couple games. I'm expecting not to hit that 4x. The chances of hitting that are 1 in 30. It's very, very rare to hit that, especially on the first hit, right? So I got super lucky. But my thought is I got a 50% chance of winning something, and then I got a 50% chance of losing. So if I have to take a couple losses, I'm cool with losing 50 cents at a couple losses. So I could lose 50, $1, 150, and so on. I'm cool with that at the ability to get a couple wins that are bigger than that, right? So that's the way I'm thinking. So now that I got a big win like that, and I mean big in the sense of our profit goal is $4, that's $1.50. So that's a pretty big win in that aspect. We're going up, not going down. So with that said, I'm gonna take it over to something safer. So sticking to the wheel, I'll take our 50 cents, and I'm thinking about this too. So now we're in profit. So the way I'm thinking is I'm gonna bet another 50 cents. This is a lot safer. I can get some smaller wins, but if I lose, I'm still in profit. I'm not risking the entire profit to get a little win, right? So let's do a couple of these. We hit the best one. Again, very lucky. This is working out too well, kind of scaring me. So now that I know I'm getting really lucky, right? That's the other thing going through my head. I just got 2 really lucky wins, the best possible outcomes on both those games. So I'm thinking maybe I should pop out of here because I just got the best case scenario twice in a row. But I'm gonna go for one more, take the risk. I take the loss. See, I should have popped out. That's what I'm thinking. I should have popped out. That makes sense. Like I should have listened to my thoughts, but I'm thinking I'm still up, right? We'll try to get a couple more wins. We get another loss. So now we lost like half our profit. So now I'm willing to do a $1 bet because we're still up in profit. If I lose this, we're pretty much back to break even. It's not that big of a deal. Try to get a couple of these real quick, maybe one more, and we hit the 150. So we're back to where we were. Okay, we hit the 1.5x, not the 150, 1.50. Okay, a lot of talking, but this is the way I'm thinking when I'm doing these videos. I'm just trying to let you guys into my mindset. So I'm gonna pull out of here because we got lucky. We got back to where we were. We're still in profit. We're doing good. Okay, so the live stats did reset, but I'm up to 175. I gotta keep that mentally in the back of my head. So now that I'm up 175, I'm gonna pop into blackjack because I like it. It's a safer game. It's not super risky in the sense of typically it's like kind of a 50-50, right? So I'm up 175. Now my goal in my head is just to get to 250. So if I get one win on 75 cents, I'm at 250. So we're gonna play this. I'm at 11. So I didn't do a huge bet. So I have the ability to double that. If I was doing like, if my stop loss is $16, I'm doing an $8 bet. If I do a double on that, that's the entire stop loss. So that's why I'm not doing huge bets, right? You have to be careful when you get low like that in your balance, not to go super high because you might have to factor in the double down, right? So we're gonna double it. We lose. So I'm gonna, I took the risk, we lost. So now we're down $1.50. So instead of doubling up on that, since we were up a good bit, realistically we're actually at 25 cents because we were at 175. This is a little bit behind, but I'm going to stay at the same bet. I'm not going to double up. So we're just going to keep playing as we would. Okay. And I'm going to go one more bet at 75 cents and I'll be back to where we were. So we lose that. So now I might double up. We're struggling a little bit. Got a couple losses. With 5 against the 2. Not okay. So I can't double that, but I'm going to hit on the 11. And we have a 17 against the 2, so I'm going to stand. So luckily they bust there and bring us back down to 75 cents. This is back to where we were originally when we hopped in, right? I'm at 175. I know this says 0, but I'm at 175. My goal was to get to 250, right? So if I win this, I'm at 250. So we're back to where we came in where we came into blackjack at. So we're doing good. We have a 13 against a 7. That's a hit. Just checking the sheet there. So now we have a hard 13, which is still a hit, and we bust. Okay, so I'm gonna double this up. And they get a blackjack. Okay, so we're gonna stay at 150. I'm not gonna double up again because that's just gonna keep going down the more we keep doubling up. So I'm gonna double up now because we're down 375. We have 2 aces. That has to be a split, right? Yeah, it's always a split. So this is where it can get dicey. So I'm at a $3 bet. I'm gonna split this. And we win both, luckily. Okay, so we were at $1.75, and now our profit, adding that $2.25, brings us to $4. Okay, so adding the balance on the website, I'm actually coming out to this number here, 305. So I still need 95 cents. I guess my math was wrong, or the website's math was wrong. So I got to get 95 cents still. Okay, so coming into mines, I'm going to reset the live stats. So I know I need 95 cents. And with that in mind, I'm going to do a 50-cent bet with 3 mines and just try to go for probably 3 or 4 mines or gems. Do one more. Okay. Let's try this one more time. I'm going to take that. So now we need 35 cents. Okay, so now that I know I need 35 cents, we're going to start off with an 8-cent bet on dice. And basically every time we lose and then we hit the green, I double up on the second bet, and then we got to win that to recover. So it'll make sense once I'm going. This is our strategy on dice. So this gives us a 3-cent profit. So I have to think like I need 95 cents. So realistically I need like 11, 12 wins, right? So I'm going to be doubling up a good bit. I'm expecting to double up a handful of times here. So we're going to just keep going until we lose. So we lost. So we lost again. So we hit the green, we double up. We got to get 2 wins. We lose again, we lose again, we lose again. Okay, so we're back in the green. We double this up. Got to get a couple wins over here now. We lose, we double this up. Okay, so we're back to where we were. You can see we were at 70 cents. We're pretty much back there. So I'm gonna bring us the whole way back down to 8 cents. And you want to think that whenever you're doing stuff like this, you have that bankroll to back you up. So I know I have that $16 stop loss to back up this 8-cent bet. I can do a lot of doubles. You got to think of it that way. I know the bankroll itself is huge, but I'm really thinking about the bankroll just as that stop loss limit. So we're probably going to get a loss here right before we hit the win. Yep. Expecting that. So we double this up. We lose again. We won, so we got to double this up. We lose again. We got to double this up. Okay, we're at 94 cents. We just need 1 win here. Should be good. Okay, there's 97 cents. So there's our profit goal for the day. And you can see the chart's always slowly kind of moving up whatever we do. We're never doing super big bets. I mean, it happens sometimes where the chart's going up and down a ton, but we're always trying to have like a slow and steady, consistent increase. That's always kind of the mindset I'm thinking of. Okay, so that is a $4.02 win on the day. And that brings us to adding some bonuses to the balance there that we showed at the beginning of the episode. Brings our balance up to $409.32, which means our profit goal is $4.09 and our stop loss is $16.37. So usually once I complete like one day, I'm thinking, I'm always trying to switch the games up, so I'm not doing the same game and the same strategy. I'm trying to switch the games up, and I stick between like the ones I think are the safest. There's a handful of games I play. So the games I typically play are Mines, the Wheel, Blackjack, sometimes Roulette, not the originals, but I'll play Roulette on some like the live games. Crash sometimes, and Limbo here and there. But then when I switch the games, I'm also trying to switch my strategy for each game. I'll play Dice too, that's another one I play. I'm trying to switch my strategy around too. So we did we did 50-cent bet last time, going for like 4 mines, right? Or 4 gems. So this time I'm gonna go for like a $1 bet and try to go for like 2, maybe 3. Okay. 48 cents. I forgot to reset the live stats. Okay, so we're up 48 cents. But just trying to change it up a little bit. So this time I'm gonna go for like 2. You just gotta win there. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out of here and bounce to another game. Just trying to switch up the algorithm so it's not reading what I'm doing every single time. So I'm gonna come over to Dice now and try to roll over a 10 and do a $1 bet and go for a couple wins here. Okay, we got a couple wins. Let's do a 1 cent bet just to get this to even. Oh wait, I wasn't thinking I have to do it 50-50. So now I gotta do a 2 cent bet. Try to martingale this and just get that win real quick. If it's easy, it's not being easy with us. So this is a good concept of martingaling, right? I was trying to go for 1 cent. We ended up going up to 32 cents. So I can go, martingale can be pretty dirty. You gotta be careful with martingale. I'll martingale, but I try not to do it all the time. And I usually try to have a stop loss on that martingale. So it looks like we need 1 more cent still. Okay, there's our 1 cent. So now we're 80 cents profit. We also had that 48 cents from before too. Okay, so now I'm gonna try to play like a little bit riskier, not super safe. For me, a little bit riskier, but I'm gonna go for a 2x. And I'm gonna try doing a couple 10-cent bets. And then if we lose a couple, I will double up. So let's double this up to 20 cents. We hit that, let's bring it back down to 10 cents. So I'll do 2, so I'm not directly martingaling. So the way I'm thinking about it is if I bet 10 cents and I lose, I bet 10 cents again and I win, I'm back to break even. So I'm looking for like 2 wins in a row instead of just pure martingaling. So like that, we're hitting a lot of losses here, but now I'm starting to like actually martingale it. So now we're just trying to get 2 wins in a row. That brings us back. So we bring us back down to 20 cents. Okay. Let's go back down to 10. Let's see if we can get this up to 150. Okay, we're at 150. So we have that 48 cents we were working with too. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go for 2 more cents just to get an even number here. So we'll martingale this 2 cents. Okay, so now we have $2 of profit. Okay, so now I'm gonna play some Keno on high risk. And we're gonna go for some, we'll start off with 10-cent bets. We'll start with 10-cent bets. So basically with what we're doing here, we need to hit at least 4 to get a win. So if we hit 4 gems, we get a win. So we're ideally looking for the opportunity to hit one of these really big ones here, like a 6, even a 5 hit. If we hit 5 and above, we get a pretty big payout. So 4 keeps us alive, and those really big hits will really boost up the balance. So look, there's an 8x, that's 80 cents. That's a really good hit. So that brings up our balance a good bit. We're gonna try to run a couple more, and then you can always change up the boxes or increase the bet or both. We're hitting a lot of 3s. Can't seem to get a 4 hit. We'll do one more 10-cent bet that hits, and then let's try that again. See if we can get a back-to-back. We do. So I'm gonna auto pick and change these up. Run a couple bets on this. There we go. There's a good hit. We have an 8x. We're pretty high up now. So we're like 260, adding that 48 cents from before. Or no, 270. So we still have $1.30 to go. I'm gonna do an auto pick one last time, and I'm gonna go for a 15-cent bet. Do a couple of these just to see if we can get lucky. We can just hit like one of these, that'd be really nice. Ooh, there's an 8x, okay. Let's see if we can get a back-to-back, no. I don't want to run this too low, but it'd just be really nice to get a huge win off of this. Okay, we'll do 2 more. Oh, there's 3. There's 3 again. We'll do one last one. Okay, we're gonna pull out of here. Okay, so we're gonna come back to the wheel. It did us good earlier, so we'll see if it can do us well again. So since it paid us out pretty good earlier, I'm expecting to take some of our money this time, right? That's the way I'm thinking about it. So there's a 3x. Brings back down to 50 cents. Get a loss. Okay. We'll double this up. Got a couple losses there. Some more losses. We'll double up to $2. Bring us back down to $1. And then one more. Oh, so when we get that 2x there, that'd be nice. Okay. That's pretty good right there. Another 2x. Another 2x. So we're 412. We also had that 48 cents. So we're really at like 460. So that's definitely above the profit goal. So we're going to add that to the sheet. Okay, so we got 460 from yesterday, $4.60. So adding the bonuses up and the new balance, we're at almost $420, which means our profit goal is $4.20, and then our stop loss is $16.80. So looking at our live stats from yesterday, the last playthrough we just did there, we can see there's some dips here, obviously, because we're taking on some more risk with certain games, but still, it's like a linear line. If you drew like a, I forget what that's called, like the average line or whatever. I can't think of like what the math term is for that. The trend line. If you drew a trend line, you'd see it's like a straight line if you follow my cursor, right? It's just like a kind of linear. I know we had that big dip there, but it's ideally just slowly going up. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm trying to do every day. Not have these like crazy spikes. I know we had some spikes here, but trying to avoid those. So we're gonna reset this. Then usually I'll stick to a game I like. I like blackjack. It can do you dirty for sure. But the way I think is we were playing a lot of volume games, right? We were doing a lot of bets, small bets, playing a lot, right? So now that we did it like 2 days worth of that, like 2 days in the challenge, now I'm gonna try to do today with like bigger bets. just to change up the algorithm again and stick to one game for a little bit. Unless it's not doing us too well, then we'll pop out. But the way I'm thinking about this is we need $4.20. So if I do $1.05, I need 4 wins on this to get today's profit goal. So I just need 4 wins, an 11 against a 10. That's a double. I don't like that right away. 21 though, I like that. So that's a really good start. So now we're already halfway to our profit goal just with one hand like that. So we're gonna stick at 105. 20 against the 5, that's a really good look. And they lose. Okay, so we just need one more win. Probably expecting a loss streak, honestly, since we had 2 really good hands there. So we have a soft 14. I'm just gonna check my sheet just to make sure I'm playing by the book. That's another good thing too, is you always wanna play by the book. So we have a 3 and an ace against the 5. It's saying it's a double. I don't really need a double, because if I double this, then we're down a good bit. So playing by the book, I'm gonna double it. It'll take us above our profit goal, but I really don't need to. So that's up for you to decide as a player. But it was a bad move. Luckily it worked out though. We went from a 14 to a 12, but then they got a 22. So I guess that playing by the book did actually work there. So we're at 525, very quick day, bigger bets, change up the algorithm a little bit, is how I'm thinking about it. And then it's a little bit faster process than bouncing around. Just sticking to one game is another strategy I try to do. Okay, so we got $5.25 from that playthrough. So adding up all the final bonuses here, and the final balance comes to $425.22, which makes our profit goal $4.25, and then our stop loss is $17. So the goal here, I'm gonna reset the live stats, is I'm gonna play live games for the final playthrough, just to, again, mix it up. I feel like live games have a very good edge compared to these games, because these are all like algorithm based, and I don't know if you can fully trust it, but the live games, these are just like live stuff going on, right? There's like things happening that you can control. You have more control over, I guess, than playing against the code, is the way I look at it. And it switches up the play, right? You just want to keep changing the play up. We could play the same games, but just play live games like blackjack. You know, we've been playing the originals. We could play the live game, which is the same game. It's blackjack, but which is a different style, a different deck. There's, you know, different things going on. But the first thing we need to do is the profit goal is $4.25. In the live games, I'm gonna go for $4. So before we hop into live games, I'm gonna try to get 25 cents to make that a flat number. So with that said, I'm gonna do a 40-cent bet, 3 mines, and try to get to 25 cents. I don't know how much 1 mine is. Oh, we hit a bomb. Dang, that sucks. Okay, let's run that back. Oh, okay. This wasn't part of the plan, but it does happen. So we just gotta be mindful of what we're doing here, not chase our losses. So that brings us back to our last bet that covers the loss there. So now we're still down 21 cents. We hit a bomb right away. So let's double this up to 80 cents and go for 3. All right, cash that out. Do it one more time. Dang, we just keep hitting the bomb right away. Okay. Gotta be careful with this. We don't want to chase this too far and get messy. Wow. All right, let's do $1.60. This is the last one. Okay, see, it's just taking our money. There's nothing I can do here. So we're gonna leave that. Okay, so we're down 423. I'm gonna go for a 75-cent bet. I'm back on blackjack. So we were doing really well on this before, so I don't know if we're gonna have good luck on here. Probably not, honestly. It's gonna start taking our money. We've been winning a lot, right? That's the way I'm kind of looking at this. So we got a win there. See if we can get a couple wins here. Not gonna go. Oh, I don't know if I should have hit on that. I think 3s I should have split. Yeah, I should have split the 3s. It's too late now. We're at 16 against a 16. Just bust. Oh man. All right, we'll double up to 150. 17 against the 9. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. So we're starting to go down pretty good here. We have an ace and a 7 against an 8, which is a stand. Okay, so we won that. We're going to keep the 150 bet. We have a 10 against the 3. It's a double. It's a pretty big bet for us. It's a 20, and they get a 21. See, once it wants to start eating your money, it'll start eating your money. We go for a $3 bet. We're getting pretty close to the stop loss. We have a 12 against the 9, 18. Okay, they bust. So we're gonna bring us back down to 150. Okay. Which I do one more at 150, and then we're probably gonna pull out of this. So we have 15 against the 5. It's a stand. Yeah. All right, let's go for a $3 bet here. 14 against the 5. It's a stand. 9. Oh man. Let's go for a $3 bet one more time. The 20. Okay. Let's go for, what were we supposed to do here? I'm getting confused. I think a 150 for $3. Let's just go for a $2 bet. Let's go for a $2 bet. Cut in the middle. Because this is definitely starting to eat our money. Yeah. Yep. Gotta expect it though. You gotta prepare for it. 19 against the 7. Okay. Let's go for the $2 bet one more time. The 21. All right, $4 bet. 16 against the 10. That's disgusting. Ooh. Okay. All right, so we're down 98 cents. We got really lucky coming back there. You can see if I would have kept getting on some losses there, it just went the whole way down pretty much. You gotta be careful with that. Let's pull out of here and try to get our 98 cents back. Okay, so coming into limbo, I'm gonna go for 1.5x on 50 cents. If we lose that, I'm gonna double it up twice. Okay. There we go. Bring us back down to $1. That's weird. Okay. Back down to 50 cents. And then let's go for a 10-cent bet. Going for 7x. And then let's go for, yeah, let's just keep it as 7x. Okay, so we're down 3 cents. I'm gonna try to martingale this at a 2x. And you can see this can also eat your money away. There we go. Okay. So now we need 25 cents. This is our original plan, was just to get 25 cents, right? Can we martingale this? This is a very high martingale. Worked out. So we got 25 cents. That was our whole goal in the original. So look what we did here. But we were trying to just be mindful of how low we were getting and not go past the stop loss. So every time my stop loss today is $17, I'm really thinking about that as like trying to not get halfway down there. So like I was hitting, I think 8 was our lowest there. So once I hit like halfway to the stop loss, I know I really got to start being careful. Like you want to use the big bets to come back from that, but it's not always the best move because that could just send you even deeper in that stop loss. Okay, so I'm playing Baccarat now. And strategy wise, there's not a ton really going into this. We need $4. So I don't know. The strategies on here are kind of tough to say. I'm just gonna do a couple $1 bets, see what we can do. But I like to try to do player more than banker just because player pays out 1-to-1 where the banker takes a 5% commission. And looks like there's been more bankers. There's 21 bankers pulled and only 18 players. Oh, there's a win there. We'll take that. We'll take that. But yeah, I don't know. It looks like there's been no crazy streaks. Keeps bouncing back and forth. So I'm going to go for player one more time. try to get one more win. We'll pop out of here. But yeah, the bankroll strategies, there's so many out there. People like switch up every time. You get like 2 wins, switch over 2 wins. You could just martingale. There's a lot of stuff you could do here, but I don't want to be in here too long. I feel like the longer we're in here, the more chances of losing you have. And there's our first loss there. So we're back to where we were. Let's go back on player. Seems like player hasn't had a double win in a long time, so maybe we're due for a couple wins. Probably not. Sometimes I've seen banker go for like 38 wins and then player has like 10. You know, it could be ridiculous. So we have a 0, they have a 2. She's gonna pull 1 more each, and we win that barely. Okay. So I'm gonna go for player one more time. Again, I'm not trying to be in here too long. I would like to just get one more win and call it. No matter what happens after this, though, I'm gonna pull out and play some blackjack. So that's the game plan. We start off with a 7. It's pretty good. She's gonna pull 1 more. As long as it's not a 7 through a 9, we should. It's an 8. Damn it. All right, I'm pulling out. Okay, so we're coming into infinite free bet blackjack. This is our game. It's really, we've been lucky on it. So I'm gonna try to go for 2 wins on a $2 bet. We'll see how it works. But realistically, you want to play less. I know there's times where I play a lot of games, but the less you play, the less the house edge has an effect on you. And there's our free double. If we win this, we're good for the day. That'd be sick. It'd be so sick. But the less you play gambling in any game, that house edge has less of an effect. If you play like 1,000 games, that house edge really starts to take effect and your EV goes down, your expected value goes down to where the house edge takes over. Let's go, the 21 on the free bet. We're back. There's our profit goal for today, so we got super lucky on that. So there's another day of consistent wins. We got 4 straight wins today, and our total balance is up to almost $430. And we started off at 400, so we got like 29 bucks today. And out of that $29, 18 of it was purely from gambling profits. The other $11 was from the bonuses. So pretty darn good day, and I hope that me talking you through what I was doing kind of gives you a little bit into the mindset of how to get consistent wins. Again, it's not proven. That's just the way I think about it, and trying to keep things in that stop loss and thinking about things in a smart way. At least I think it's kind of smart. Or maybe I'm just getting extremely lucky. A little bit of both. I don't know. But hopefully that helped you guys out a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on my strategies here and how I think of things. If you guys have any thoughts or suggestions, leave them below. Leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. It helps boost the channel. And we have a Discord. It's in the description. If you want to join that, I recommend getting in there. We got a good community being built up. So thank you guys so much for all the support. It means a lot. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.